Good morning. This is Shirley from Bluebird Quilt Studio. Glad to see you this morning, and thank you for popping in. We are going to chat for a moment about the most common questions that I'm asked about people that are considering long arms and what kinds of concerns they have and kind of what my thoughts and philosophy are about leading people towards the right choice for a long arm. So I hope you find this discussion valuable and maybe it'll pique a little interest. We do have a little gift option for those of you that choose to demo a machine just prior to Christmas here. And I'll be giving you a little information about that as well. So first of all, when you are considering quilting anything, you have to kind of prioritize what your particular needs are, what your space is, what your budget is, and really probably most of the questions that I get asked are kind of directed towards those kinds of issues. So let's kind of just talk for a minute about those kinds of things. So first of all, when someone's considering a machine, one of the questions that I like to find out so that I can direct them towards the right machine for them is I like to find out what type of quilting do you like to do, and how do you intend to use the machine? Are you planning on quilting for just yourself? Is there a possibility that a business might be involved? You might want to do this as a quilting for hire type of thing. So those particular options are something that you might want to consider. So the style of quilting that you do does influence your choices as far as which machine might work best for you. If you're typically doing small gift projects like small purses or bags or things that are, you know, smaller in nature, it makes perfect sense to enjoy one of our quilting classes that's for a domestic machine. In my opinion, the smaller projects are quite easily done on a small machine. On the other hand, if you're thinking about scaling up your production of these because you're a maker and want to do craft shows and things like that, you might want to consider looking at a long arm so that you can quilt large projects. You can quilt large projects or quilt a large panel to be used in those bags. So that is one of the things that is leading that discussion. So small projects, I would suggest that you take a class to more effectively use your domestic machine. There's a lot of different options when you're doing domestic machine work, including free motion, including ruler work, including effectively using a walking foot. All of those things are learned skills. So that might be an option for you. For those of you that what I would consider are truly hobby quilters, where you may only quilt, you know, 5 or 6 quilts a year, 5 or 6 quilts a year is still not it's still within the realm of possibility of considering a long arm. For one thing, 5 or 6 quilts a year is probably, if you have those quilts quilted, you know, in the neighborhood of $1,200, maybe even $1,500 worth of quilting. In 5 years, you could pay for the a smaller long arm machine and have the joy of finishing your own project all the way, start to finish. So for example, the Moxie and the Moxie XL now are great options for that. So Nina, if you wouldn't mind just swinging that around so that they can see what the Moxie and the Moxie XL look like.
All right, let me go to the side here. So yeah, you can see them side by side. The one in the foreground is the XL. It has a longer throat space, so larger quilt. And then there's the Moxie over there. It's just a little bit smaller, but both of them pack a big punch.
Right. And so when you're looking at that type of system, There's a variety of different frames that those can go on, and so depending on whether your space is a little smaller and you might want to use a hooping system, and that is called a little foot frame, a hooping system. You can still do a large quilt, but you would hoop it rather than do the traditional rolling mechanism of a traditional long arm frame. So there's that option available for those machines. There's also this loft table that you just saw. So that particular loft table is 8 feet long. So a very nice, you know, a smaller queen quilt would fit quite nicely on that Moxie XL. So if you're a hobby quilter and really have no aspirations for doing anything larger than just your own quilts, that's a great place to start. It's considered an entry-level long arm. Another option that I would kind of put alongside that is the stationary machines that we have. So if you have you can go ahead and swing over there. If you have a space, that will only accommodate, you know, basically the size of a card table, and you have experience with domestic machine quilting, that's a great option for a home quilting space. And again, there's extensions that are available for that machine to make that feel like a long arm. And technically it is a long arm because that is got the body of our #1 selling Amara. That Amara the Amara ST can be converted at a later date onto a full-sized frame. So then that leads us into the #1 selling long arm in the world, the Amara from Handy Quilter. So let's take a quick peek at that one right here. So this one's already loaded and ready to go here. So for a quilter that is, you know, doing more than 6 quilts a year, this is really the way to go. The frame size can be customizable again. The frame comes in 4-foot sections and 2-foot sections, so you can combine those frame sections into a size that will fit your space. We do have a couple of used models with pro stitchers on them that are available as well, so might be more budget friendly than you might realize for those machines. So if you are a professional quilter or aspire to be a professional quilter, the Amara might be a good spot to start, but there are 2 other options that are available from Handy Quilter, and it's always good to know, you know, what your options are. So there is a larger Amara 24-inch machine, same basic body type as the one that you've seen here, but a deeper throat by 4 inches. And that deeper throat, people want to know, what's the value of a deeper throat? It means fewer times to roll your quilt. With a professional quilter, I would really recommend that you get that Pro Stitcher, which is the computerized stitching system that goes along with the Amara, or Pro Stitcher Lite, which goes along with the Moxie, and take advantage of the fact that you could be quilting in your studio and piecing a quilt at the same time. You can do double duty there. There's something gleefully mischievous about having 2 or 3 machines running at the same time. I don't know, there's a special kind of weird pleasure that comes along with that. In any event, that is the most efficient use of your time, and no matter what, any business owner will tell you the most valuable asset that you have in a business is not a machine, it is the person running that machine. So your time is ultimately going to be more effectively used if you have a Pro Stitcher. It's like having an assistant. So One option, though, that you may or may not be aware of is the Infinity. So there's a special going on right now on the Infinity through the 22nd of December. So this is sort of the Christmas special, okay? Many of you might recognize Adam So Fun. He goes by Adam So Fun. His last name is Radliff. So Adam So Fun is offering some education with any Infinity purchase. So that is a nice package. Plus, there's a $5,100 savings on the Infinity. The Infinity is the Cadillac version of the Handy Quilter line. And when I say Cadillac, I mean Cadillac. So some things that it has a thread cutter. It has an undercarriage light so that you can see the bottom of your quilt. Plus, it has a camera. The camera underneath the quilt so that you can check your stitching at any time by pushing a button on your screen and allowing you to see that camera from underneath. There's a variety of patents that go only with this machine, which with each one of these different options, as you go up the line, there's more and more features. There's handlebars that are totally customizable. There's hydraulic tables available. There are quilt from the back kits that you can add so that you could do panto work if you're not quite ready for a pro stitcher. There's of course ruler tables and rulers and a whole variety of options for quilting. So back to the original question, you know, what style of quilting do you plan on doing? If you are planning on looking at options for doing many of your own quilts, or perhaps highly customized quilts of your own, if you're a Judy Niemeyer fan and want to do your own custom quilting on those quilts, a larger throat is going to be beneficial so you can take in those larger wedge-shaped shapes in your quilting space and then quilt to your heart's content. So that's going to be a valuable asset to you, as well as some of the features that go along with the Pro Stitcher and the full version of the Pro Stitcher. So lots of ways to customize your work, regardless of where you're at in how you want to use a machine, how you want to use a machine. We're here to help you. We have machine quilting classes for domestic machines. We also have machine classes and support for our Handy Quilter owners. Ongoing support and national educators that come our way. Adam was here just a couple of years ago with our studio. So that is something to think about. Space is the other concern, the other question that we're asked about. Again, I think that you can see after kind of perusing what is available, that is a very customizable option, and it just really depends again on what your needs are. If you are, if you are a person that struggles with arthritis or needs the ability to change your body position, that hydraulic table, either on the ST or there's hydraulic lifts available for the studio frames as well. So that hydraulic lift is a fantastic way to specialize something just for you. So how are you going to use it? How are you going to address the space? And then of course budget. Budget is it's on everyone's mind, particularly I think over the last year. We do have some ways to assist you with that, including some used options. There is financing available through Synchrony. Red Threads is also an option if you're planning on starting this as a business, and they've been really accommodating. So we're here to help you regardless of which direction you choose to go if you want a little help with machine quilting. A little side note here. It's such a great journey, and regardless of where you're at, if you enjoy quilting on your domestic machine, I'm cheering you on. I love quilting on my domestic machine too, even though I have these beautiful long arms. Okay, so we're cheering you on if that is your choice. It's such a great journey, and there's so many possibilities and so many different ways to grow and develop your skills as a quilter. And what is awesome is these possibilities allow you to grow as you learn so that you can continue to develop your skills. And I've been quilting on these machines for over 10 years and absolutely love it. And I feel like still learning, still growing, still have things to explore and to learn. So I hope that those thoughts are valuable. If we can be of assistance in helping you, we're here for you. Give us a call. If you would like to stop in for a demo, while supplies last, we have a few. Where did I put those?
Right,
guys?
it's right behind you.
Right behind me. Of course it's right behind me. I can't see it. We have a few little kits for Bluebird fabric mug rugs that are left over from a particular project that we did this summer. So we would love to share a little mug rug kit if you do a full demo with us on our handy quilter machines this week. So we invite you into Bluebird. Have a fantastic week and keep on quilting.